Please teach us about how to wake up early. Yeah, it's not just wake up. So I wanted to make a video where I explain about Friedrich Nietzsche quote, which is, "He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow," which is not, usually people ask me in the stream, how do you wake up at 5:30 a.m. or how do you wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning every day? And I don't think it's how to wake up, which is the obvious response will be just set up an alarm and wake up. I think why do you do this stuff is way more important than how. So I think you should take a minute and maybe even comment or tell something in the chat right now about not how you wake yourself up, but why do you do what you do every day. For me, I have my non-profit project. I have the responsibility to start the stream. I want to learn, I want to become a doctor, and I want to support my family. So this is my why I wake up in the morning. And when I have this why in life, I will very easily find the motivation to wake up in the morning. Is it good enough, YouTube? Can I upload it as a clip and you will give me my views back? I think it's more than self-discipline, because you should have those responsibilities in life, and I really want to teach you guys about the dopamine system, because there is this misconception about dopamine, which is only being released. The people think it's only being released when you finish doing something and the dopamine comes as a reward, but actually it's constantly being released, and it's give you the initiation and inhibition for action, for movement. You have this area in your brain, which is actually a complex of different structures called the I got distracted. Called the basal ganglia, and basically when you think about the action you want to do, there is a collection of those basal ganglia structures that will release dopamine, and it will give you the initiation of the movement. So you have to have the releasement of dopamine in order to start doing something. Because you're doing something all the time, like studying, it's constantly being released. But you are relying on the constant dopamine secretion. And we see it in the medical field, in the Huntington disease or Parkinson's, which is basically called hyperkinesia or hypokinesia, which is in Parkinson's, it's the lack either of dopamine receptors or dopamine releasement, and it's very hard to initiate movement, or Huntington disease, which is very hard to stop movement, but both of them are related to the basal ganglia and dopamine system. So if we look in the healthy individual, you will have to have this dopamine system in order to keep going forward. And in order to keep going forward, you have to have more responsibilities in life and reasons in order to push forward. Yeah, the push-up-o-meter is 0 still. I don't have any dopamine to increase it. Yeah. So when you have the dopamine to initiate the movement, the motivation to initiate the movement, you will also be more concentrated when you study, and you will be able to study for more. But it's so hard to go from 0 to 1, from sitting and doing nothing to start studying, other than continue to study, because you rely on the initiation of the movement other than the actual motion when you are already in motion in the movement. Yeah, Parkinson and Huntington disease are awful diseases. So when people ask me, how do you study for so long? I think it's more appropriate to ask I think it's more important to understand how you start studying and when you study, it's way easier to keep study. But the movement from 0 to 1 is the hardest part to take. Thanks, Shreya. Thanks, Kirtan. And cut. I'm going to take clips from it and I'm going to upload to YouTube. Exactly, yeah. When you initiate the movement, the resistance decreases. But it's very hard to initiate the movement from the beginning, biologically and physically. So it's very interesting because you see how physics and biology always overlap with each other, which is very interesting.